Can a plant buy or cost you political points? That's the question we're about to tackle. As we discussed earlier, a government-sponsored poll shows Canadians are pretty laid back when it comes to weed. Who stands to win political points over pot policy? Who stands to lose? We're going to talk about it all. Tonight's power panel, Amanda Alvaro of Narrative PR in Toronto is back. David McLaughlin, former Conservative Chief of Staff, and Media Styles Ian Capstick. Hello. We've only got we don't have that long, but we'll be able to figure this out, I'm pretty sure. It's let's start with you, Ian. How, the poll showing that Canadians are looking for things to be relaxed, to be changed a little bit.
Well, I think we've been looking for things to be relaxed since Jean Chrétien announced that they were going to be relaxed many moons ago, and it hasn't quite happened yet. In fact, to the extent that a lot of young Canadians don't even know that marijuana is not legal because frankly, it should be. I mean, that's just my opinion, of course, but it should be available, as Conservatives suggest it shouldn't be available, in a variety of different formats, likely at a dispensary with a prescription and those types of things. But the bottom line here is more interesting to me than the number of Canadians who want it relaxed is how fast that number is actually growing, right? So a couple of years ago, had you asked this question, we would not have seen these types of results. But instead what's happening is we have a wholesale demographic shift happening. So we have some of the youngest of Canadians who have much more lax attitudes towards recreational drug use writ large, and here I'm talking about other substances as well, which are used at a higher prevalence by younger Canadians than they are by older Canadians with more tolerance. So again, it surprises me a little bit, frankly, to see those numbers as high as they are right now, but it heartens me as an advocate of legalization of most drugs.
Politically, let's dig into that a bit. It puts the Conservatives, I think, David McLaughlin, in a position where they're going to have to do something, no? I mean, or can they keep attacking Justin Trudeau and saying that he's going to let kids buy this at a corner store?
Well, I think they're going to keep doing that. I mean, you know, marijuana may make you relax, but it's certainly nothing relaxing about the debate around the topic, and that perhaps was inevitable when Justin Trudeau sort of and just announced this policy shift last summer without any kind of prepping the ground, without any explanation of what he means by legalization of marijuana. So neither he nor his party nor Canadians, frankly, should be surprised that you're getting other political parties taking opposing views. It's legitimate. It's expected and it's welcome in a democracy to have this kind of debate. We really haven't had this kind of political debate in a while on this issue, so I think it's a fair thing for the country to have. I think Conservatives believe that it's a good wedge for them to draw a direct contrast, and there's certainly a lot of Conservative voters who are not who are leery about the steps of anything that has decriminalization, certainly legalization attached to it. So I think we're going to hear more about it rather than less, and we'll see where the public moves on this. This is part of informing the public to help them figure out some of these choices.
And there does seem there's something going on with Canadians broadly, Amanda. I mean, people are thinking about it, as David said, that maybe the time is just right for a conversation about it.
Well, I think that, with the addition of the legalization of medicinal marijuana, the conversation is happening anyway. I agree with Ian. I think that there's a major shift in societal attitude toward legalization, and where once it may have been a political liability, the way that the Conservative government would like it to be today, I don't think that's the case. And those numbers are an early show, and what is truly an early debate around how those views are changing over time. And with 60% of Canadians seemingly supportive of relaxing those laws, with 1 in 3 Canadians supportive of legalizing it altogether. Certainly those numbers wouldn't have existed just a short time ago. But I do think that a medicinal marijuana debate, and in the same survey they looked at 83% of Canadians very supportive of medicinal marijuana. I think as that continues to dominate headlines, it does a lot for the consumer end of legalizing marijuana altogether.
I love that you're already calling it the consumer end, because that's what they're doing in Colorado. What's really interesting to me is that experiment is actually going particularly well. They had a recent raid. They went into a huge number of what you know as sort of, I guess, pot shops in Colorado with minors, and they attempted to get them to purchase, and guess what happened? They found absolutely zero people willing to sell to minors there, which is, of course, one of the big scary things that people bring forward. So I think the more of these sort of facts that come to bear, and when you also have a lot of conservative voices calling for the legalization of marijuana, because don't forget, once you legalize, you regulate and tax, and the amazing amount of money that we're going to be able to raise off of a cannabis crop is actually going to pay for a considerable amount of health care that cannabis is going to create. Because let's face it, it's still dangerous. Well, yeah, no, but it's dangerous because like alcohol and cigarettes, it's not without its consequences, and that's going to need to be accounted for within our healthcare system.
It's part of the problem here that the Liberals haven't sort of defined
Correct,
how it would work,
Correct.
so it allows the Conservatives to say, yeah, you're selling it in the corner store.
Absolutely. So Mr. Trudeau came out and talked about legalization. I think he took his party a bit by surprise, and certainly took the public and the media by surprise. That's fair game. He's now trying to set the debate, but in the absence, in the vacuum that of the policy, apparatus or plumbing behind that in terms of what this means. There are real legal issues, there are real societal issues, and other kinds of things that they have to work through. So yeah, he's exposed on this, in my view, more so than what he perhaps might have first thought.
Okay, I got to take a quick break.